Shut up and sit down.
Hello, ladies and gents. It's me, EpicDose, and I'd like to share with you a game that changed my life. This game is EverQuest Online Adventures. In case you don't know what it is, or never played it, or never heard of it, it was a MMORPG on the PlayStation 2, and it was based off the EverQuest franchise. Basically, around that time, in 2003 is when it was released. The EverQuest game on PC was doing very well, and they tried to get EverQuest on the console to rake in the money. Well, regardless, this game shut down now, but it was a great game and it definitely hooked me. The story I'd like to tell you today is how I came across it and how it changed my life. Initially, I grew up playing games. I've always had a game system and was into games, but I wasn't really deep into any type of games. When this game came out, I was around 22, 23, something like that. I didn't really play games too much. I had my couple of games I played. I played Final Fantasy in high school, Final Fantasy 7, and a couple of the earlier ones like the RPGs, games like that. But I didn't really play a lot. And I had no idea what an MMORPG was. Well, how I started playing this game is when I was around 22, 23, I lived in a house with a bunch of friends, and I saw this commercial, this EverQuest commercial. It was kind of corny. It had kids talking on the phone with each other saying, "Let's slay the dragon, it's time to slay the dragon," and they all have headsets on and they're all like, I don't know, like punching and kicking with the controller in their hand or something like that. I was like, oh man, that looks cool, because I was always into the fantasy type games like Zelda and, Baldur's Gate was out during that time, Dark Alliance on a PlayStation 2. Those were amazing. And I was like, that looks good, man, and it's online. You can play online. For consoles, online wasn't really a thing yet. It was slowly coming out. And I was like, oh yeah, you got to get that. I didn't have money at the time. I was really tight on money, so I had my friend buy it. He brought it home and he started playing a troll. And he played it, I'd say about 30 minutes, and he didn't seem like he was very interested in it. And it looked, when I was watching, I was like, this looks boring. Because in all reality, this was an MMORPG on these PlayStation 2 consoles, so the graphics aren't like nothing to obsess over. And if the combat in MMOs, when compared to consoles, it wasn't entertaining. Let's put it that way. This game's very boring to watch if you don't know what's going on and you're not already into it. But anyway, so he's played it for 30 minutes. Kind of pushed it to the side, and I was like, okay, I'll try it out. So I played his troll. I think he went to work or something, and I was like, yeah, I'll try to figure it out. He said, yeah, figure it out, play it. I don't think I like it. So I played it probably like the whole day. I didn't know what an MMORPG is, like I said. So I'm in this town. I didn't know what it was called yet. Come to find that it was called Grob. And I'm this troll, and like what my friend was doing was playing like a console. He was, like an action game. You just go, hit, kill things, that's all he wanted to do. Well, with this game, you had to actually read. Read and follow directions, otherwise it wasn't interesting. So I started catching on. I was like, wow, if I actually read what they're saying, and I follow what they're saying, I'm actually getting somewhere. So eventually, after 30 40 minutes of talking to all the NPCs that show you the little things, and I'm in this town of Grob, and I'm trying to like, how do I get out of this town? So, I mean, because it didn't really tell you how to get out. It just kind of, because this is the difference between this game and like games today, is it didn't have markers of where your quest was. It didn't have markers over people's heads to tell you they had a quest for you. You had to talk to everybody in town. So I'm sitting here talking to every NPC in the town, and there was no map in this game either. All it had was a compass, and that was it. So it would be like, go northeast and slay the bats at the statue, and that's literally what you got. But anyway, so I'm playing like 30-40 minutes, and I see a chat box on the side, and I knew it was online, so I figured, I saw people talking, and I was like, how do I get out of this town? And eventually someone kind of guided me outside, and then I started killing things. I was like, okay, this combat's not too impressive. I wasn't really into it yet, wasn't really sure what was going on yet. I didn't understand it was an open world or any of this yet. So I just played it all day. After getting outside the town, I just kept killing bats and little things that are around, whatever around Grob, I don't remember. Mostly bats, I think. But kept playing, and I started getting armor, started looking somewhat decent, and I started actually getting really into the game. I was like, wow, if I actually read what the NPCs are saying and all this, I'm actually getting somewhere. And I started leveling and kind of feeling like I was getting stronger and looking cooler. Didn't really group with anybody yet, though. So my friend comes home, and I've been playing it all day, and he's like, oh wow, you look different. I'm guessing you figured out how to play. I was like, yeah, it's a pretty cool game, man. You still wasn't into it. And time went by, and I kept playing it. I didn't play his character anymore, because I was like, I want to start my own. I'm going to start a barbarian warrior. And so I started one, and I think I even made my own account at the time, because I didn't know how it worked yet. I think I made it on a different server. It was actually still on his account, because I didn't know how that stuff worked yet. Made a barbarian warrior, and as far as I knew, I was going to start in Grob again, the swampy troll area. I just thought the game was same for every class or whatever. Well, I made this character. His name was Sir Orin from Final Fantasy. It later got changed because they updated their naming policy or something, and they made me change my name. But anyway, regardless, I made a barbarian warrior, and it was all in the snow, and it was in Hollis or Halis, however you want to pronounce it. Everybody says it different. And so, in my mind, I still didn't understand that it was an open world, and I thought, okay, so for each character, they get a start in their environment, and that's what they get. So the barbarians got Halis, and they lived in the snow world, and the trolls lived in the swamp world. They didn't ever meet. And so I was still playing the game. I was going along, tanking. I was a tank. Barbarian warrior. Going around killing goblins in the snowy regions of Hollis. I eventually came to know a healer. So I started doing little groups, like small groups, and camping goblin camps with this healer guy. And we actually became really good friends, game-wise anyway. I didn't know him at all, but we leveled from 0 to the end game together. We were in the same guild and everything. So we're fighting stuff around Halis, and I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm glad I'm in this snow area. I didn't realize anything was connected yet. Finally, me and this healer get to the point where we're close to our level 20-ish, and you have to start going other places. You don't know this. I mean, there's no quests in the town of where you start when you start hitting the level 20s. You gotta go elsewhere. So we start pushing further and further out of Halis, and one day we were just like, we need to push, just keep going one direction and see what happens. Because I know that sounds silly, because this game, when you died, you lost experience and you had to run back to your corpse and everything. You did not want to die. So just adventuring out past a certain point of your town, your starting town, was scary. Because you didn't know. It wasn't like the mobs leveled up with you where you went. They were big, bad, high-level mobs or monsters in any direction if you weren't paying attention. But anyway, me and the healer decided, okay, we're just going to run one direction. I think it was south. It doesn't really matter. And we kept running south. We just said, we got to do this. We want to see what's out there. And I just assumed at the point that it was just going to be a big snow world. I didn't know how big, didn't understand it. So we ran south, and eventually, I think we came to the Hobbit town. I think it was Rivervale. I might be wrong. Don't remember the names all completely, but came to Rivervale, and I had played around with different characters. You know, I played with, I think they're called halflings in EverQuest Online Adventures, but they're hobbits. We came to the halfling village, and I had played each of one character, each race, just to see. Once I realized they were in different worlds, and I was like, "What? You mean it's all connected? It's all one world?" And I finally grasped it. I got that idea, and I was like, "You mean it's all one place? You mean I can walk down to Grob?" And I didn't get it, but the healer I was with, he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "This is a big old world." And I was like, "It's a world?" He's like, "Yeah, it's not just a zone or whatever." And I was like, "Oh." And ever since that happened, it blew my mind. From that point on, once I realized the whole world connected, it took over. I was addicted to it. I was obsessed by the game. I played it for 4 or 5 years straight. But anyway, that's how I started playing it. And my friend at the time, once I started playing the Barbarian, and he saw me doing little groups of 4, and having that healer guy run around with me, and once he saw that I got outside of Halus and it was all connected world, he got really into it. He got into it more than I did. He got addicted. He wouldn't sleep, he wouldn't shower, he wouldn't eat. I did all those things, but other than eating, sleeping, and going to work, I played that game. I almost lost a girlfriend over it. But he would play until he fell asleep with the controller in his hands, and then if you tried to shut his stuff off or take the controller from him or anything, he would wake up and act like he was playing again. And he wouldn't go take a shower because he was afraid someone was going to jump on, because I lived with a bunch of friends, so he was afraid someone was going to jump on and play the system and you wouldn't be able to play. But regardless, that's how I started playing EverQuest. And the reason it's changed my life is I wasn't really big into games, but when I played this, I got addicted. First game I ever been addicted to, where I had to play it. I played it every day, and if I didn't play it, I felt bad because, my guild was telling me to play and all this. I had many, I think 4 or 5, which is a lot for this game because it took a long time to level. I had max levels who all rated and everything. It changed my life because I didn't know what an MMORPG was before it, and then when I played it, I realized this type of game is the game I like. Playing with a bunch of people, doing objectives, leveling a character, stuff like that. It made it my favorite type of game. I did play some other MMOs after it. This was my first. I played, of course, EverQuest 2, and I played World of Warcraft. I've played everything. I've played pretty much every MMO after this game since then. I played the original EverQuest on PC after I played this one. I've played all of them. That's how it changed my life. I don't think I'd be into games as much as I am now if it wasn't for this game. I also don't think I would even have played MMORPGs if I didn't play this. Because World of Warcraft never really grabbed me. I only played the first 2 expansions. I played EverQuest 2 more, and then Vanguard when it came out. So that's how it changed my life. I think it made me more into games than I would have been. It also made me love MMORPGs. And that's really the story. That's how it changed my life. It's an awesome game. It's not around anymore. It shut down in 2012, like around March or something. It was a very sad day. It's very unfortunate that the EverQuest franchise is probably not going to be around too much longer. I think the last thing we saw that from EverQuest franchise is Landmark, and that's because they got bought out by Daybreak Games, and unless someone else buys them and does right by the EverQuest franchise, I think that's all we're gonna see, and it's kind of sad. But yeah, that's how it changed my life. I wanted you guys to know about it. This might be a new series I start where I talk about games that changed my life or that I really have passion for or nostalgia for. That's it. So please like, comment, and subscribe down below. Share this video, with anybody that might have liked EverQuest Online Adventures or even knew what it was. And thanks for watching, guys and gals. Later.